I'm going to show you how you can transform your garden using string lights, sexy post lights and tree illuminating lights. All of this is controlled with this wireless switch which will be mounted inside the house, and it's all wired back to this control box here which have the wireless receivers, and I'm going to show you exactly how I done this. Let's go. It is landscaping season and everyone is getting their gardens done up, which means everyone wants lighting for the barbecues. And today I have a blank canvas. This is my customer's newly landscaped garden and it looks lovely. It's just missing some fancy lighting which I intend to do over the next few days. The landscapers haven't put all the ducting in for me, so I have some additional work to get my cables to where they need to be in order to complete this project. I also need to get lighting over to this tree and to this tree, and we have a new supply going to a shed over there, but that is a project for another day. Now, I don't think the landscapers liked me very much because when we came to look at this project, this gate wasn't here. I didn't know about this gate. The consumer unit is in the middle of the house and I can't get to it. So I was going to put another one of these meter boxes here, put a consumer unit inside it, and then run all my cables in the ducting over to the control areas. But when I put this here, I can't shut the gate. So that's one of my problems I need to solve. I have lots of lengths of ducting left over, which the landscapers decided just not to use and make me dig trenches instead. So thanks for that, mate. They did, however, leave me a bit of sewage ducting underneath the step. And I'm going to see if I can poke my ducting straight through, which will probably fill up with mud when I do this. So let me just explain what I'm doing a little bit first before I just get carried away here. Ugh. What we're going to have is a 3-gang kinetic switch. One of the switches is going to operate all of the string lights. The second switch is going to operate the bollards, and the third switch is going to operate the flower bed lights. The spike lights that are going to shine on the trees is what I mean. So I need to get a supply here, through here, control box, supply out, string lights, bollard lights, ducting from here to the flower beds for that. Something like that anyway. I need to have a look at these string lights and see what length they are and see if I can actually shorten them first so I can work out where my ducting needs to go to. You can extend and add on to these, but I can't shorten them. So I need to think carefully about where this goes. I've got to take this up one of the posts and it needs to be in the most discreet one, I guess. And if I go for these end ones, it means I've got a whole lot more digging to do. But that's probably going to be the best thing to do, I think. Do it properly or don't do it at all, eh? After a quick phone call with the client, we have decided, or she's decided, that we're going to take the cable for the string lights up the back posts either side. So basically I've dug all that out for nothing. Brilliant. It's fine, Adam, it's fine. So this duct I just cut and forgot to turn my mic on to tell you what I was doing is now going to feed the bollard light and the string lights for the posts that run that side of the steps. And then I need to, then the ducting here, which has been mullered, thank you landscapers, that hopefully goes over there. So I'm going to get the old Cobra out, which was like a £40 Amazon special, absolute bargain, and see if I can get my cables to it. So this is my Cobra with a little accessory pack here, which I normally forget, which is why I now put it in there. You need to be careful with this because it just springs out. You need to go through there, which then feeds out don't stop. You need to be careful with these go a little bit crazy. Oh, there she is. Lovely. Right, here we go. If you don't uncoil your cable like this, you're going to get loads of twists in it. There we go. Here is my cable. Come here, you.
The communication between myself and the landscapers, I'll be honest, has been incredibly poor, and I had no idea what stage they were at any point during this job. The most important thing to me was that the ducting was in the right place. Some of the ducting had been left out, but it's nothing I can't sort out. Yes, it's more work for me, but to be honest, I'm not interested in moaning about it. I'm just going to get on with it.
This last cable I've pulled in goes to the first flower bed, which I don't have enough to get to the second one, so I'll have to get some cable. Then I have two cables here, one labelled up with tape and one with not. One will do the bollard and one will do the string lights. Easy peasy. We're there.
Now that I know I've got all my cables in the right place, I can get on with fixing this meter cupboard and getting my supply sorted out. It's not where I originally wanted to install this, but as usual, things change and you've just got to make it work. But that's part of the job that I love. I'm core hole drilling through this brickwork for my cables. I always use a core drill bit. I don't want to blow the brickwork. It doesn't matter to me that you can't see it. I still want it to be the best it possibly can be.
So what I've prepared here is an adaptable box with all of my storm glands prepared. This is going to be to house my wireless receivers and all the controls. And I'm going to mount this about there and then swoop these cables into the bottom of it. Here we have a supply cable in, then we have a switch cable to the first set of rope lights, a supply to the second set of rope lights, a cable which is going to do the bollard lights at either side of the steps, and another switch which is going to do the spike lights around the trees. So quite a lot.
Once I've fixed my adaptable box to the wall, it's time to make off all of the SWAs, and what I'm doing here is labelling up all of the circuits with a marker in front of the SWA so I know exactly what cable does what. I'm also sleeving all of my conductors so now they are the right colours. These wireless switching receivers are absolutely brilliant for outdoor work. It means my customer can switch all of this from inside the house without chasing out any walls.
That is the control box complete. It's not the neatest, but it's not bad. Let me show you. So here what we have is all of the SWA is going to all the other points are earthed here, which means I don't have to do it at the junction box ends. One receiver there, 2 and 3. So that is all ready to go.
Next, I have to decide where to install these bollard lights, and it's always best to have a chat with a customer to make sure they are happy with where you plan to install it.
So it's completely up to you. I don't want you to look at this and be like, oh, it's not in line with the post. Or
I don't think it really matters.
okay,
Decision
made.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that then.
Yeah.
It's always good to discuss with your client where they want stuff. I've got these tiny little hooks here, which I was going to try and use for these string lights. And they only just go around them. My client's got some other nice black ones on order, but what I'm going to do is put these up because they only make a tiny little hole and get the string light set up so we can see exactly how it's going to fall. And also I need to cut my supply cable down to make it off into my junction box.
With these hooks, I simply drilled a tiny little hole and then wound them in by hand. And then I got on with connecting up my string light supply cable to the arm head that I ran earlier. Now normally when I work on a landscaping job like this, the landscapers would let me know when they want their cables pulled in and I would do that, and then they would pull the cables up through the brickwork to where I needed them. But in this case, that hasn't happened, so I'm core drilling more holes in order to get my cables to where they need to be for the bollard lighting.
I can feel all my fingers tingling when I'm doing that, so I'm going to go and get those velocity gloves because they've got like an anti-vibration element to them and they work quite well. Definitely worth getting yourself a pair of these. And this isn't a plug, but you can get them at the Tool Monster store and have a discount code SOTA. So if you want any new tools or velocity gear, check out the Tool Monster store. The trouble with what I'm trying to do here is when you core drill a hole like straight, you have all these holes in it, which gets all the dust, which allows the dust, sorry, to all come out. But where I'm drilling down at an angle, it's got nowhere to go and it's just clogging up. I need to get it out, really.
I got there in the end and ended up with a beautiful clean hole. Now I can poke my cable up ready to be connected, but I'm left with a very dusty surface and I don't like that. So I've got out some big wipes and I'm going to wipe it down to restore the colour the best I possibly can. I'm going to fill that hole with loads of silicone to stop any of those creepy crawlies coming up and living inside the light. And once that's connected up and screwed down, it's time to move on to the other one. Exactly the same as last time, only this time the drill went through the brickwork way easier. Then it's onto the string lights again. One thing I haven't mentioned though is I haven't ordered enough string lights for this whole project. I have more on the way, getting delivered tomorrow, hopefully in time. Now it's onto the spike lights. I need to dig a little bit of a hole and I'm using the whisker boxes, Wagos and some new whisker gel, which I'll show you a little bit later on.
My next job is more digging.
I have another spike light to install by this tree, but the ducting didn't seem to make it all the way there. There is a massive tree root, which may have been why they stopped it.
Right, okay, on to the next.
My customer chose some Knightsbridge LED spike lights. I haven't used these before, but they seem pretty good quality. Let me know if you've used them before.
So this is how you pair up a wireless switch to these receivers. I have this 3-gang switch which is going to be mounted inside the house. Dead easy to do this. All you have to do is push that button in for a couple of seconds and you see the red, and then you just click one of these. The next one, exactly the same. Red neon, switch, and then finally and that's it. So now what we have is the first switch does these 2 lights, but it doesn't work because I don't have any light bulbs in there. The second one does all the string lights, and the third one does the tree lights. I'm trying out some new whisker gel today, and it's an all-in-one formula. Normally I have to mix them up. So let's see what this is like. It's like this. Okay, so all we do apparently is take this off and then take that off and then wind this back in, and it's going to release the second part of the gel and then give it a good shake up. And there it goes. Don't know if you can see that dribbling in. I think that's fairly well mixed up, and then take off that lid. Oh, that's how it works. It just punches that and then just pour this into the junction box. Oh, that's liquidy. That's one done, and then one more to do. Then I can get back filling. Time is getting on. And that is that.
That is most of the work done once I've finished this backfilling, but I still have one job to do, and it's going to be a wet one.
It's the last day though, and I have 7 of these to install, and they used to look like, or the old fittings are like that. So I've got to do that. I need to put some light bulbs in these 2 posts, and then if my TLC delivery turns up on time, finish off the string post lights. But that's just a matter of plugging them in. But we'll see how we get on. I don't know. It's raining a lot. I'm going to get very wet. This is my little dry area. This is all I've got. And these are the Knightsbridge up-down lights with the GU10s, not into integrated lights if I can help it, because then you've got to change the whole fitting. Ball ache. So that's that. Nice to fit because they have the screws on the sides. I don't know why I'm crouching. They have the screws on the sides rather than like there and there, which that's a terrible design. Why would you do that? That's better. Get these are okay.
This is one of those jobs that you know what's going to happen. Once you're finished, the sun's going to come back out.
Those little silver hooks that I put in yesterday, they're coming back out because my client has bought some different ones and they're quite nice. If I can open it. Ooh. And they have like a little carabiner sort of clip on them. And also, my additional string lights have turned up, so we can get this job wrapped up. So with these lights, the way it works is that you get your main power source, but it's on a plug, which you just take off. And it's got like an IP rated connection, so you can get rid of that. And then that bit just plugs into there. Male end, female end. So these then just latch on like that.
Now these string lights come in a 6-meter pack, and I had some slack, so I wrapped it around the post at the end and put all the bulbs in, and I think personally it looks pretty good.
And then this is the final piece to the puzzle. The light bulbs don't fit. Bollocks. Right, where's screw fix? I found a Yes Electrical like 15 minutes up the road. Go in there, they don't know me. It's not my usual place. And I was like, yeah, I've got an account. I spend thousands with you, mate. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll look after you, mate. Like £4.50 a light bulb. Cheers, mate. That's Yes Electrical Winchester, by the way. Anyway, final touches. I don't know if you can even see that, but they work. If you found this video useful, please hit that like and subscribe to my channel. I'm all done here. See you next week.